I had to do the next thing, which was call my recruiter. It's- that was it. That was interesting. She was not happy. Like,
Naked, hated, bloody sandcastle. We made it, sedated by alcohol. And a fire we can't put out. I won't ever trust you again. I won't ever trust you again. I won't ever trust you. Who is this stranger in the way home? I used to the hurt and danger and your love. You say
hey, how's it going? It's Eric. So we are finally back in the United States. I've been back for a couple of weeks now. If you saw my Instagram and my Twitter, my wife and I, we were in Paris on a little vacation, kind of a travel vacation. Went to Paris and to the Burgundy region of France. It was pretty cool. I'm actually working on a travel video right now to try to get all that together and so I can post it. It was a good time. We ate a lot of really good food, drank a lot of wine, put on a lot of weight. We were eating so much, it was crazy. I mean, it got to a point where like we're eating so much, like I looked over at my wife and I was like, I don't feel good. I don't even know why I'm eating all these eclairs and stuff, but it was a good time. But I definitely need to like start working out again to get myself back into shape because I kind of slacked off a little bit while I was out there. But yeah, I mean, we went out to Paris because I was anticipating shipping out to BMT, and then so we just wanted to take a trip before I left for at least 6 months to do BMT and tech school, like, and be separated from my wife. So we just wanted to do something together and make some cool memories. But yeah, I'll put out a video with the footage I took on that trip, and it was a good time. We had a blast. I got some interesting emails out there. A lot of people asking about the ASFAB, which is really cool. People asking about what to do with their age situation. So totally cool, really cool questions. I really do appreciate getting these questions. I love it. Makes me feel like I'm helping somebody out, and at the same time you guys are helping me out too. And actually, it was interesting while I was in Paris. My recruiter called me. She let me know that I had booked a job, and then so when I came back, my contract would be ready to go with a ship date in February. And then so I was super excited. I mean, I made a list of 10 jobs and 2 open categories. They were all my top jobs. So when she told me what I booked, I was super excited. It was Precision Equipment Measurements Lab, PMEL, which is pretty rad. Like, you have to have like a 70 on the electronics, like the minimum. So that's really cool. I want an electronics job. I want an electric job because it's a totally new skill that I don't have, and I just want while you're in you worked in a lab, it seemed pretty cool, and then when you got out into the civilian world, the job paid pretty well, so I was totally excited about that. And then of course having the BMT ship date, I was good to go. So as soon as my wife and I got back from France, I'd go there, sign my contract, and all would be good. But yeah, so I was super excited to have that job. I called my family. It was all I was talking about while we were out in Paris, and so I was mentally preparing myself to get ready for BMT. And then I think I was somewhere about almost to the very end of my trip. I got this email from one of the from someone that watched YouTube videos, and it was like, hey, you have to consider something, and it's pretty big. And then so I checked out his email. I did some research, and I was like, wait, this is actually huge. But yeah, I think we'll get to that. Well, we'll get to that in a second, but I've been playing guitar all day today, playing along to my old band, Dead and Amelia. And I really love those songs, so I think I'm going to put those throughout the video. I'm not in the band anymore. I think I left in 2013, but I mean, these guys are still my friends. the Dean, the guitar player, like, you know, the other guitar player, the songwriter, who's like my best friend since high school. So hopefully you get to jam again one day. But I still listen to them. I definitely recommend you guys checking them out. But yeah, I'll put their songs in this video, and then probably my next couple ones, just because I saw some old pictures pop up on my Facebook, and I was like, like, let me see if I remember how to play these songs, and I don't. Actually, suck pretty bad. I'm really rusty, so yeah, I'll put some content of that band through here, and I'll link their Facebook and Instagram. I definitely recommend you guys check them out. So anyways, yeah. So I check out the email, and it's just like this really big opportunity, right? Career changing opportunity, I guess you would say. And I was like, oh my goodness, like if I go one way, I'm guaranteed I'll go to boot camp or BMT. I'll have a guaranteed job. I know what the lifestyle is going to be like for my wife and myself. So everything, was great on that end. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I got this job opportunity where it's not guaranteed. The odds of me actually even getting it are super low. The competition is super high. But if I pass this up, there's no turning back kind of deal. So I was actually kind of stressed out, like trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do, because I got something ready to go, but then again, I have something that's, not guaranteed, which is like just a crazy gamble. The odds are stacked against me, but if I actually make this happen, it could be, things would be a lot different for my wife. I always say my wife because that's like the first person I think about when it comes to life-changing decisions, right? So think about my wife and then how all my decisions are going to affect her, and then I think about myself. I get it, like I'm a shy dude, like I'm awkward, I say a lot, and I think, I don't speak very well, but I'm working on kind of deal. But yeah, I'm kind of one of those dudes, like this is one of the reasons why I'm doing like these YouTube videos too, because I'm not very well spoken, and I'm using this to help me like fix like and kind of like look at have like my problems with like speaking like put out in front of me so I can correct them and whatever. But and I'm also like pretty shy. Like I'm almost one of those dudes who like you go to like a group of people and it's like you get kind of nervous, right? So I'm a little shy. I can't go up in front of a crowd of people and start speaking. That's totally not me. That's something I have to work on also. But yeah, so that's, some of the reason why I'm doing these videos is because, so I can work on that kind of stuff. But, what's for this type of career, I think you have to, be, confident and comfortable and be well-spoken, which is, things I definitely have to work on. But anyway, so what happened was, got an email from Aaron. I haven't met him before. I think it's just from watching YouTube videos. Like he saw one of my videos and emailed me, and thank God he did, because the email did stress me out, but it opened my eyes to like what challenges I'm ready to take on. So anyway, so in the email it said that, hey, pretty basically just to let you know that the Air Force changed the age limit for OTS, the Officer Training School, to 39, and I think it was 34 or 35, something like that. And then so now you qualify, and I was like, wow, what the hell? Like initially, like I was thinking about going officer, but I never thought I was smart enough or anything like that. But then it all got canceled out because I was too old. But now I'm away in Paris. I have a job contract rating, and I didn't sign it, or I haven't been able to sign it because I'm out of the country. And then all of a sudden, there's a change in the Air Force, where they can, the age limit is now 39. I have a college degree. I have two degrees. It's not stellar. Like I got through college. I think my GPA is not like insane, like 3.0 and up. I was more worried about like chasing my girlfriend at the time, or before, Morgan was my girlfriend, like, just chasing her around trying to make her my girlfriend. And then, so I wasn't really too concerned about school. I was also, I was working as an intern for a research site, and then so I was worried, I wanted to just work and then chase Morgan and then, get through school. Like I didn't care about, acing school. So anyways, so I never thought that I'd be able to be in a position where like I'd even, would apply to something like that, and be an officer in the military, and especially in the Air Force, the caliber of people that go into that's got to be pretty gnarly, like scientists, doctors, lawyers, really, really smart people, and then me, right, a regular dude. But yeah, so I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like pretty difficult. I'm not gonna go for it. Just, I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like that's like the type of thing I would be good at. So anyways, like all these things are going through my mind. I'm like looking at my wife, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, dude, like, how are you gonna look over at your wife and she's like, hey, guess what, Morgan? I'm gonna take the easy way, and then, because it's easy, and then there's guaranteed no fail. I'm just, that right there kind of hit me kind of hard, because, what kind of man or, husband does that make me look like, like a, I'm not really, the type of person to put full effort into something or go for something because it's hard or a challenge. So I was like, you know what, like, let me consider this. Let me see what's up with this officer thing. So I checked it out. I mean, on paper, I qualified. I mean, the degree, the GPA. I've already had my MEPS physical. Like, it's already good to go. I have letters of recommendation. We can talk about that later, like how to get those. I think I'll put in another video, because since I think my videos from now on are going to be about the process of going as an officer applicant. But I already have the letters of recommendation, and then the volunteer hours in my community, I got like a ton, and we can go through all that stuff later. But I like everything like lined up already, and I have exactly 18 months around 18 months before I have to, like, I'm disqualified. And so I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna go for it, and then, if I don't make it, I don't make it. I'll still have time to go enlisted, but I have to give this a shot, because once it's gone, it's gone. Once I sign a contract, or I'm in BMT, like, my chances of going officer after that, by the time I turn 40, is like, absolutely gone. So so with that in mind, like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. So I told Morgan, it was actually kind of emotional, because we were all mentally prepared for this to happen. I mean, if I booked the job, we were talking, okay, I'm gonna go to BMT, that's like 2 months, and then I'm gonna go to tech school, that's another 6. So we were already preparing ourselves to know that I was gonna be gone for a good, like, at least 9 months, 7 to 9 months. So that was a little bit emotional roller coaster we were going on. So the trash man, I'm gonna put some now the train. All right, the train and the trash truck are now gone. So yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a emotional roller coaster. I'd be gone for a long time, and then we were just mentally preparing ourselves. And then now, if I do this thing, I'll be thrown into another application process where who knows how long it take. I mean, the absolute longest I can wait is the absolute longest it could take is up until December of 2018. After that, like, if I didn't get picked up by a board, it's basically over. That dream is gone. So, which gives me time to go enlisted. So, I mean, those odds, they're not in my favor. Yeah, definitely they're not in my favor, but at least I have an out too, which is like I can go enlisted if it doesn't work out. So I had to do the next thing, which was call my recruiter. That was interesting. She was not happy. Like, look, she's got a job to do, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna sign a contract because I want to go as an officer. And then, you know, I will say this thing about my recruiter, like, she is very straightforward. She's very honest. She knows how to work with older dudes and, you know, people like me who, you know, who are coming in like with a different mentality. I'm not saying like if you go in younger you have like a, you know, you're any less of a, you know, not saying that if you're going younger, you know, you're like less mature than I am or anything like that. No, it's just that she knows how to work with my age group. And then so, I mean, she was very straightforward. She didn't, you know, tell me anything, you know, there was no lies involved or anything like that. It's just, you know, she let me know what was going, like, she let me know what the deal is. And then so what turned, I mean, she understood, you know, it's not, you know, I'm making this decision is because it's not just about me, it's about, you know, my wife and myself. So I told her, I was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to apply to be an officer, you know, I want to take the AFOQT. And the next AFOQT date is January 5th, and then I got to sign my contract by December 20th. So there's something that's, you know, something's got to, not gonna, one's gonna happen and the other one's not. So, so, you know, I'm basically, I have to be a refusal, you know, and a DEP discharge. She understood. So I am registered to take the AFOQT. I actually got this book right here. I gotta study the crap out of it because, I mean, like I said, like my GPA doesn't look that great. I mean, it was a 2.98, maybe 7. So I gotta ace this thing, and I'm crossing my fingers. So I'm studying my butt off right now for that. But yeah, what was that saying? Like, you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So that's like stuck in my mind right now. So I gotta go for it. But I mean, just going forward isn't, you know, enough. Like, I have to like work really, really, really hard. I'm not the smartest dude in the world, like, but at least if I know that I can put some, you know, some extra cards in my hand by studying really hard. So that's all I got. I mean, that's my main play, is just to study as hard as possible now. So just try to ace this thing. So yeah, so, you know, looks like my DEP dream is over for now. I'm not going to BMT in February. I didn't sign my job contract, and I am working on being this officer applicant. There's some review boards that are coming up in, I think, April, May, and July, something like that. So hopefully I can get all my stuff together in time to apply for those boards. I am on a limited timeline because I am age critical. I have to be and graduate OTS by time I'm 40. So a lot of work to do, and this is it. Like, this is a major step. Like, I just hope that, you know, it all kind of works out. You know what I mean? Like, I to me, like, just thinking about it without doing any research, or just, if I just thought off the bat, hey, you know, officer, I would just think it was impossible, you know. Not someone like me, dude, who was like, you know, terrible time in high school. You know, I didn't even start college till I was 21. You know, not very well spoken. Did I say not the smartest? Not, see what I mean? Not the smartest dude in the world, but you know what? Like, I like having the odds stacked against me. You know, like, actually, you know, some of the people, like, I've told, like, you know, I've been laughed at, like, hey, dude, you're not gonna make that. Like, that's impossible. You know, there's people in my life that, you know, were like, I'm gonna put it this way, like, I had so many doors shut in my face growing up, like, it's insane. But it came to a point where, like, I realized, like, you know, I can't listen to these people who tell me, you know, something is impossible just because they feel like it is. Like, you know, if they feel like it's impossible, then you know, maybe it's possible for me. You know, it's weird. It's like, if you ever seen that movie, like, The Gremlins, when you get one of those things wet, like, turns into a monster. That's kind of like, as I gotten older, like, that's kind of how I've been, like, you know, someone like tells me no, and also I'm like I turn into this monster. Like, what do you mean no? You know, it's weird. I mean, I just it's just kind of how I've been, because I mean, like, you know, I told a certain somebody like, hey, you know, I was thinking about going to college. You know, even though my high school life was like terrible, right? And then they're like, no, you can't make it in college. Why don't you like go to cosmetology school and do that? And I was like, why? I'm like, why can't I go? You know. And then not to knock cosmetologists, right? But it's just, you know, I just felt like, you know, I wanted to do something besides that. That wasn't for me, you know. Like I tried to cut my own hair before, it came out like crap. But yeah, so this is what I'm gonna do. It was almost depressing that I can't go to BMT, because I was literally looking forward to it. But I know that if I'm meant to go there, I'll go there. You know, if I make it through all this whole process of being an officer, then it's meant to be. So anyways, thanks again for watching these videos. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for all the comments. There are really good comments out there. It's cool, man. We're making like a little group of old dudes trying to join the military, which is pretty rad. I thought, you know, maybe I was kind of alone on this one, but we're not. But yeah, a couple things before I forget. If you're an older person or you're interested in joining the Air Force, but you know you don't want to, actually you're not ready to walk into office, just give my recruiter a call, Tech Sergeant Hilsebeck. She's super cool. There's no pressure, and she'll tell you exactly how things are. I trust her 100%. So I'll put a link. I'll put a picture of her card up, and I'll put her contact information in the description down below. I'll also put the links to my old band, Dead and Amelia, down in the links below. So I want to do say this one last thing and like this one serious thing. And so, I mean, if you have like a certain dream or a certain goal that, you know, that seems unachievable or impossible to reach, and you know people are telling you like things like, you know, you're not smart enough, or you're not competitive enough, you're too awkward or too shy, you don't have, you know, enough confidence, or whatever the case may be, you know, ignore all those naysayers. Like, actually don't ignore them, like listen to what they're saying, and then use that as a push to prove them wrong. Because you know what, like, they just want to bring you down, and it happens all the time. Like, people, you know, I told someone, you know, certain people that I wanted to try to get into the application process of being an officer, and then right away people are like, no, it's impossible, don't do it. You know, you're not smart enough, or you know, well spoken enough, or whatever it is. And you know, as soon as I start hearing that, I'm like, man, forget that. Like, you know, I'm gonna go for it. Like, I like those kind of odds, you know, 1%, let's do it, you know. So keep that in mind. You know, am I scared I'm gonna fail? Yes. You know, but I know that I'm willing to use every resource I have possible and fight to the death to like achieve a certain something. If I don't make it, if I crash and burn, then so be it. At least you know, I know that I've given it, you know, my best shot, and I think there's some honor in that. And you know, but there's you know, I would fully regret doing nothing and, you know, and going nowhere versus, you know, crashing and burning. At least if you shoot for something and you don't achieve that one goal, at least you'll be a lot farther than where you were when you first started. So anyways, I just wanted to say that, keep that in mind. I mean, example, right? Okay, so I didn't do very well in high school. I did terrible. It was the worst, probably the biggest failure of my life was high school. And it's very regrettable. But as I started getting older, I was, I think 20 or 21, I was decided like, hey, you know, I want to go to college. And then so I told certain people, and you know, again, I got laughed at, right? Got laughed at, and they're like, oh, you're too dumb. You hated high school. Like, why would you do that? Why don't you go to cosmetology school? Because, you know, I had a dead end job or whatever. And I was like, cosmetology school? Like, what why would I want to do that? I mean, there's nothing wrong with cosmetology school, right? I mean, that's a pretty, cool career, right? But I don't want to cut hair. I mean, I tried cutting my own hair several times. It came out like crap, like absolute crap. So I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want to do that to somebody. I want to go to college. And at that time, like, if you know me back then, or see, like, I was not college bound by any means. I didn't even know who would even take me or accept me. I was very far. I mean, I worked at a dead end job, and I just, in a small town in Texas, like, how in the world would I end up on a college campus? And it took some time, but after fighting and working really hard, I ended up on a college campus, and I couldn't believe it. And then at some point, eventually down the road, I graduated. So it took a long time. I didn't graduate until I was 30. Like, on my 30th birthday, I was literally like walking the graduation field on my 30th birthday. No, I'm not lying. I'm not thinking about that. But, it happened. So just remember, like, if there's something you want to go for it. Don't listen to anyone. Don't let people tell you it's impossible. You want to be a musician, a guitar player. I wanted to be a guitar player at one time and go on tour and stuff like that. Don't let people, like, tell you it's impossible. It is not true. I actually got to a point where, I was in a band and I was touring. It wasn't freaking Guns N' Roses, but I mean, I got to experience being in a band and going on tour. That's why I kind of put some of those, that's why I'm going to start putting my old band's music up, like, from a couple years ago. So I'm going to start putting that stuff up, but yeah, you're capable of whatever you allow yourself to do. So anyways, just remember that. I want you to always keep moving forward, because that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to study for this AFOQT. It looks like a hard test. Hopefully we'll pass it. And then hopefully we can, get our application together. Hopefully we can make it through a board, and then cross our fingers and we make it to OTS. If we crash and burn, oh well, we gave it our best shot. Then I can try to go enlist it again. So anyways, hope that made sense, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching. Keep on hitting me up on Instagram and Twitter. I will work on getting these more tutorial videos out on the ASFAB, and then we'll work on this AFOQT study guide together. So thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.